Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love and the journey of ascension. Okay, I've got 3 decks of cards. I thought we'll have a quick play. Cheers. The Great Composers, Lives of the Great Composers, Book 1 is in reverse. This is postcards from Ladybird. 100 classic covers. So let me get them out. They're big. Well, they're postcards. I'm going to use them to get us a message this evening. Okay. I'm not going to take all of those. That's a lot of postcards. That's like being in Santa's workshop and there's an influx of mail. What type of mails are we talking about? As in post or men? There's a card in here that's Beaky, the greedy duck. Okay, let's have a look at Beaky, the greedy duck. I feel like that's actually like a shopping bag, or I would say like a loot bag. And I was taken to L. What does L stand for? So it's like a greedy mother duck, and then all the chicks are like following suit. Greedy. Greedy ducklings. Anyway, the greedy duck, Beaky. I'm taken out of all these little green characters, but there's one that's blue and is not looking. Let me show you them. So we have this one. Tarot to go. It's just feel the energy of it's time to go. So we have this one. Then we have this one. And we have this one in a bigger version. Just over there. It's a lamp. And then we have this one. Stand and deliver money of your life. And then we have this. Whoops a daisy. And this one. This little blue one. Hello, where did you come from? I've not seen this one before. I can see his eyes, look. Oh, hello. Like he's standing that way. It's like he wants to whisper me something. Whispering sweet nothings. Why is it called sweet nothings? I don't know. That those sweet things mean nothing. I'll deal with that. A bit later on, Emily's going to know that I've been in here playing. I'm having a look at the new characters that there are. Maybe she's been in here rearranging. I've just come in and dismantled things. Okay, well. Cheers. Well, we seem to have these postcards. Oh, this one's round the other way. Commercial vehicles. A Ladybird recognition book. Recognising, well, the vehicles on here. So this is a greedy duck. This feels like the energy of somebody who like wants a car, a new car, like, or van or truck. Every year. Expensive business. So commercial vehicles, a Ladybird recognition book. Well, a greedy person doesn't really recognise a person that's putting in all the work that they're taking from. And then the blank now. This comes in like perfectly with someone feeling unrecognised, unappreciated. You know when you're like somebody's taxi? Well, this is Tootles, the taxi, and other rhymes. So, there's the energy here of somebody being like, you know when they say like mum's taxi or dad's taxi? Okay. I found a way to deal with that. I stopped driving. I got rid of the vehicles. Solve that problem. Okay, take the bus. Call an Uber. Tricks and magic. I want to say this feels like teaching them the tricks of the trade. So we've got this mother duck. I get it now. I wanted to change the D to an F. Mother duck, where you would say, you know, a mofo. Matches. Oh, this is like somebody that would freak out if you had like a power cut, or I don't know. So dependent and reliant upon everything being done for them that when it's not being done for them, then how on earth are they meant to survive? Well, that's their lesson. Because you can survive, like they're not going to die, they're just going to have to find their own way, provide for themselves. So we have learned about tricks and magic. Okay. So this is the energy of somebody not wanting like to be used as a, I want to say like a doormat, but a dog's body. A general labourer. This morning's message, I'm sure it made mention of, through your labour, sweet success shall be yours. We have learned about magic. It's a kind of magic, the stars and their legends. I mean, this is, I feel like using your time wisely rather than inhibiting others by always sort of jumping to their every need. But then that may not be what, there's a difference between wants and needs. Okay, let's get back to the stars and their legends. Because at the beginning it was like the great composers, the lives of the great composers turned in reverse. That's the energy of somebody who's like magnificent and great and their worth hasn't been recognised, seen, and it's not being allowed to develop, grow, shine, because you're being treated like a general labourer, and that you are not. You are a great composer. Red Riding Hood, also Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I was thinking about that story the other day, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and I thought to myself, she was greedy. You don't really know what happens because she runs away at the end, and it's like, I don't think that she become friends with the bears, the three bears, but you know, she just kept going because, well, she tired herself out in the end and fell asleep. But it was always, oh, that porridge is too hot, that porridge is too cold, oh, that one's just right, I'll have that one. With total disregard to like delving into other people's dinners, sleeping in their bed, sitting in their chair. And Red Riding Hood, a little naive, should we say that? She could see that Granny was no longer Granny, and Granny was a wolf that was about to gobble her up. But in come the axeman, the woodcutter. Is that him in the background? I think it is, look. And then we have a deer. Oh dear, oh dear. Florence Nightingale. What do we know about Florence Nightingale? Now that's really interesting because the lives of the great composers, it took me to like a collection that I have that has actually followed me through my life. Maybe the only thing, apart from some photographs, that have been with me from maybe before double digits. I may have been 10, but around that age time. My mum would get me a fortnightly collectible magazine called Discovery, and there's one on Florence Nightingale in there. And it speaks about how she would walk miles, but they're miles of beds, checking on the injured. Look how she's glowing. Learning with Mother. Telling the time. The Ladybird Under 5 series. So what can I tell you comes to mind here is about under the age of 5, children are unable to self-soothe. Over the age of 5, you should be encouraging it. Okay? But under the age of 5, it's a crucial childhood time. For children. So your child's first 5 years. The clock's pointing to 8. And then at the beginning we had these ducklings that are following the greedy mother duck. And we got Cinderella in reverse. I feel that this was like a Cinderella life, like always wanting, I am your fairy godfather, that's what it feels like, and let me make all your wishes come true, but midnight never came. So it's like she would never accept like the pumpkin or the horseman turning back into mice and the horses turning back into dogs. Where Cinderella was just extremely grateful to be able to go to the ball and dance with the prince. But then we can talk about like a perfect fit with the glass slipper. The prince knew. From rags to riches. And it feels like the energy of someone not being prepared to go from riches to rags. What's interesting is the fairy godmother on here looks like a witch. It feels more wicked. So I want to say like keeping up with the Joneses. Always got to have the next trend, the next new thing that that will make you appear to be well loved. A Ladybird easy reading book, well loved tales. It's in reverse. Okay, so like childhood memories and the stories that the children will tell, the stories that they will remember. Well, I have tarot to go. Book and card set. Looks a bit like a comic book. I'm taken to like a comic book that's already been written. So that would be Heroes. Okay. The show Heroes. And the character called, I think his name's Hero Maka. I don't know. I don't know. But he can stop time. And I'm sure there's something about in the comic books. He sees that the story's been told. We've got to shuffle some cards first. It might help. I wanna fall from the stars straight into your arms. What's interesting is that there's a... What animal is that? It says a pole star. It's a polar bear, let's say that. I have some glasses here. We're connecting the dots. Miser, pole star. A miser. Oh, so that takes me to like a miserly energy, a greedy energy. Somebody who just, it's like, mine, 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 mine. And not a sharer. Or a carer. Okay. A carer and a sharing. Right, let me pull some cards from here. The Two of Pentacles. The Sun. And the Strength. I like this energy. The Hierophant. We'll read the underlying energy first, and then I'll show you the cards. What can you see in that card? What stands out? Pairs. You've got the keys, you've got the pillars, and you've got the twins. And you've got like the growth that's growing up here. I was going to say like it's like a victory wreath that's draped around the Hierophant's neck. So the Hierophant is a major arcana. We also have the Sun card, which is a major arcana, and the Strength card, which is a major arcana. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, which I feel is very much a blend of the feminine and masculine here. That's what them keys represents. And I feel that's what the figures represent as well. The energy of Gemini, the lovers. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, and I feel that that's the energies integrated. Within the infinity symbol, very balanced here. Not like the traditional Two of Pentacles card. And this is a very nice, calming, balanced energy, even though in the background it's a shitstorm. And then we have, well, happiness, I want to say like happy childhood, happy child, smiling, vitality. So it takes me to the Vitalite advert, Vitalite, and the sunshine is the baby, sunshine is bouncing. It's just a happy sun. And I was taken to the energy here. Oh, this is here about like praying for our children to be happy, and our children are happy when we're happy, when we're role modelling happiness. It rubs off on them. And calm, our children are calm if we are calm. And our children are centred if we are centred. And our children are wise if we are wise. So rather than praying for your children, pray for yourself. It does make sense. Okay, so be that example. That's in the background there. Even though I know it's a flag, it looks like a slide. A water slide. Face your fears. If you face your fears, you will show your children how to face their fears. If you stand up for yourself, you'll show your children how they too should stand up for themselves. And then we have the strength here. Now, I was taken to the energy. Oh, what I wanted to point out is that child being a golden child. Because the hair is like golden. So I'm taken now to that these children are golden. These ducklings are golden. My daughter remembers when positivity was entered into our household. Personal development. But I'm talking about positivity like when everything was on a positive note. And she knows she was 11. This is my eldest daughter, which means her sister, my youngest daughter, would have been 8. And I was introduced to a personal development book called 12 Pillars. Actually, I was researching it today, but it was very robotic, the audio book that I found. 12 Pillars by Jim Rohn and Chris Widener. First personal development book I was introduced to. I read it to the girls, but Megan remembers that she was 11. And we'd have quotes up around the house, and if the news came on, we would just turn it down because we'd have the radio on. And it was, yeah, I mean, it's so natural now that the news doesn't affect us. But as you're going through the transition, you need to go on a negativity diet. So, I mean, she's 25 now. And very connected to the stars. We've been having a conversation about that. Well, I think she's actually responded to me because I spoke to her about her being connected to the stars. And I sent her a little video I was listening to. It was actually about blood types, rhesus negative, and myself and my eldest daughter Megan are O rhesus negative, or rhesus negative O. So we can only accept our own blood type, but we are the universal blood type, so we can give to all. So all can receive our blood, but we can only receive our own. And that's what she was putting in the message. But it was about why is that? It's only a small percentage of people have rhesus negative a blood group. Oh, I'm shuffling more cards. I thought I was reading these cards. So what was the bottom of the deck? The Hierophant. Oh. I was taken to the fact it looks like her hand's been burnt. Even though her hand's been burnt, she's got her eyes closed, so it's like she can feel confidence. She can feel safe. I'm singing the song about you can try to love again, The first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know. Okay. Let's read these messages. So, the bottom of the deck was the Hierophant. And the message is, associated with the sign of Taurus, the bull, with a scepter in one hand and the other raised in blessing, he symbolises the Pope, the spiritual father, and the Trinity, mind, body, spirit. He also represents organised religion or orthodox ideas. This card offers mercy and compassion. We need to relax. And indicates a need for approval and conformity. And indicates a need for approval and conformity. And as I was reading that, he symbolises the Pope, the spiritual father, and the Trinity, mind, body, and soul. I was about to say, and he's no one's dog's body. And then it goes on to say the card offers mercy and compassion and indicates a need for approval and conformity. Okay, the underlying energy, that's what it was. But for some reason it's changed because I started shuffling the cards again, which has changed the dynamic. Let's have a look at the Two of Pentacles. Oh, my belly's rumbling. We're going to go and make some dinner soon. Okay. A youth juggles on the beach, oblivious to the stormy seas. Juggling is a difficult skill to learn. Don't lose sight of other circumstances as you try to balance two areas of your life. Don't take on more than you can handle. So I've just actually released some workload because I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a log. Is that right? It's been a hard day's night. Where does the bit about working like a dog? So I've just offloaded because I burnt myself out. I was getting very tired. So I've dealt with that now. So a bit of recuperation going on. Hence why I'm doing an evening reading. I just feel, it's only been 2 days, but I already feel not so controlled by life. I realised that life was starting to control me, as in work, and I don't need to, and I don't want to, but I don't need to. That's the point. Okay, we can take on more than we can handle sometimes. Right, let's have a look at the Sun card. So Major Arcana. A cherub rides a white pony through a field of sunflowers under a benevolent sun. Solar energy is powerful and fulfilling, bringing growth, contentment, and positive energy. Happy relationships and satisfying creative endeavours follow. Could be the time to expand your horizons professionally or socially. Could be time to expand your horizons. And then we have the Strength card. card number 8. So we've seen the infinity symbol here, and also the infinity symbol is above her head. So linked to the sign of Leo, the lion is a sexual animal, but his base instincts are checked by the caress of a maiden. Message: use your head and not your heart. Exercise restraint, hold your power in reserve. Courage and fortitude will bring success. Could signify healing qualities. Okay, so the energy is coming through with being a healer. There is this energy of this feminine being burnt by trying certain standards of living and realising that they don't work. That's like if you find that you have a rebel in your home, it's more than likely that you've placed too many restrictions and rules on them to create that rebel. And they've been sent to test your boundaries, or put your boundaries to the test. Where if you relax a bit, trust that they know what they're doing. Okay, we're not talking about being silly here, you know. There's a sense of keeping your children safe, but let them make their own decisions. Teach them well. It's a song, School of Rock's coming from. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. I was going to say give them the strength of pride to make it easier. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind them how it used to be. Remind them how it used to be. Remind you how it used to be. It's one thing that I don't think we should really tell our children off for is laughing and having fun. I know they can become extremely loud, but whenever I felt the urge to tell them off because they were happy, I would think twice about doing that. Because there was times when it can get extremely loud and you find yourself telling them to stop doing that, be quiet. How about working on yourself and why that bothers you, them having fun? Go and join in. Go build a camp. The blankets out and the pegs, and dependent upon their age group, I'd still do that now. So use your head and not your heart. And I felt this energy of not liking to say no. So feeling as if you say no, then that makes you a bad person. So you're being a people pleaser. Where use your head. What's the wise thing to do? Because sometimes people can pull on the heartstrings. And sometimes you think that, like pulling on the purse strings as well, like to cheer someone up, you may be tempted to, treat them. Like, let's go and get, a hair done or have a pamper day. And, well, what kids need is parenting, comfort. Okay, I think we get the idea. Use your head and not your heart. Exercise restraint. Hold your power in reserve. Yeah, because you can find your kids walking all over you. I went through a spell where Emily would call me to go and pick her up, and she would have a bike with her. For a while, it was an inconvenience. Not so much the picking her up, but getting the bike in the car. Until I realised that it took me less than a minute to get the bike in the car. So, I changed my attitude, and when she rang to say, "Hey Mum," or message me, "Could you come and pick me up?" my answer would be, "Yes, darling, I'm on my way. I've got my bike with me. That doesn't matter." And then I could see her feeling guilty about the fact she had a bike up with her. I knew I was going to go and pick her up anyway. There's no point complaining. And I'd say to her, "Watch." And it'd just be quick, easy. Seats down. You kind of learn the position to put the bike in the boot, into the back seats. There you go. No need to complain. And I was really tested when I had my sports car. And so I had an S5 convertible, and we had been shopping, and I'd got some paint for the decking, and I got some flowers for the garden. And she, Emily this was loading the car up, and she put the flowers on the back seat, and I said, "I don't really want soil on the back seat. Do you mind putting them in the boot, please?" So she did, but I didn't see how she had loaded up the back seat. So as we was going over a speed hump, the decking paint was on the back seat, and it fell, and it hit the console in the middle, the bit between our two front seats, and the pot of paint opened up and tipped upside down in the car, and was swooshing everywhere. And I knew what happened. I was driving, but I knew when I looked at Emily, and her arm was just charcoal black. Or was it charcoal grey? Charcoal. And I was like, well, there's no point worrying about it. It's happened. So you do have these tests. Show them how to respond. And it's so whenever anything happens now, and Emily might be, concerned or worried, I just go to a pot of paint, and it brings everything back in perspective, to your perspective. And at that time, it didn't matter, because it hadn't really been that long before that, her dad had made her transition. I'm like, your dad's made his transition, so do you really think I worried about a pot of paint? It's quite trivial, isn't it, in comparison? Okay. Courage and fortitude will bring success could signify healing qualities. Pot of paint. Let's have a look at the underlying energy that's now on the bottom of the deck. The Divine Feminine's energy, the Nine of Pentacles. So this is the independent feminine energy, who will role model autonomously. But she is balanced. Because she's the Nine of Pentacles, she's preparing for the Ten of Pentacles, which is her legacy, which is the blending of the spiritual and physical, material realm. They're realms, not worlds. So you don't leave this world, you leave a realm. Okay. Nine of Pentacles. Connect with the realm you wish to connect with. It does make sense. A woman stands in a vineyard holding a rare bird. Do you call it a vineyard? A vineyard. A vineyard. Wisdom, knowledge, and talent are present. I feel they're present within this masculine as well. And he's aware of that and waking up to it and is rectifying it. Okay. they're not mistakes. They're pivotal moments of they're pivotal moments of transgression. We picked up this word earlier. I'm in the middle of having a hot flush at the moment. I want to pick up this card, but if we pick up this card, we're going to see what it is. Let me carry on reading this message. Wisdom, knowledge and talent are present. African mammals. The lion and the lioness. Beautiful. The king and queen of the jungle. Of the world. Animals of the world book. Okay. It's like the king and queen of the jungle, and then we've got like parents and child. So I'm feeling like godparents, godchildren of the stars. Polar. So polar opposites, polar bears. Wisdom, knowledge and talent are present, but no love life. This is a lonely time to be met with a measure of detachment. Success, recognition and wealth will follow. It's a lonely time, but I feel that this is a time of being autonomous, alone. It's a very valuable time. And look how she's handling it, because I'm feeling like the Beaky the greedy duck. Beaky the greedy duck here. Wouldn't cope so well. Let's finish this reading off with a message from The Journey of Love. I'm taken to like the lioness's mouth, how it's open. It's like a little growl coming. So she's protecting the lion. She will hunt for him. Very protective energy there. Man of the earth, woman of the sky. So I've just pointed that out with the king and queen of the world. And then you have the godfather, the godmother, the godparents. And the godchildren of the stars. God's parents and God's children. Let's read this message, card number 48. We'll have a look and see what the poem is called. Should we go to the poem straight away? We'll go to the poem. I wasn't meant to say painting because I would have said painting if I was meant to have said painting. We'll go to the poem first. 48. How rare to be born with a name of love. What challenges await that I must face, or voice to listen to from above, telling what I must embrace. Each day I walk a path unknown, with no regrets for where I've been. Each experience is mine to own, no choice is call to live again. How strong I am, I ask myself. The measured test unfolds each day. A blessing of enormous wealth inside the gift will always lay. Page number 114. Let's see what the painting's called. 48, just my age. I haven't said that since being 48, I don't think. I'm just trying to think. My daughter wrote on the calendar the 27th of August. Like, the electric people are coming out to do a meter check. And I said to her, oh, it's 8 months till my birthday. And then I'll be 49. But 48, okay. The Ascent. That's what the painting's called. The Ascent. Okay, let's read the message. And then I'm going to go and cook some dinner. I see myself in you, and you in me. We may seem to be so different, and sometimes yet so similar. Even beyond this, I know deep within that we are one. I can lose myself in your light and receive your light with my body. I can witness the darkness of your shadow and enter into it with my compassion. I can find the divine in our connection, letting go of what I thought I was. I can be broken apart to become as one with you, even if only for a second, and know the divine more intimately than ever before. Our passion leads us to each other, and in each other we find our true selves. This oracle brings you a message of sacred relationship that leads to divine understanding and experience. You are being opened up to sacred relationship, either in your current relationship or one that is on its way to you now, in human relationship and in divine relationship with the heavenly beloved. Know that you are worthy of it, and keep a light of gentle hope and respect kindling in your heart as you anticipate the union with your beloved. Know that even when it is dark, when it challenges you, there is sacredness unfolding. The love of the divine wants to reach us, not only in our happiness, but also perhaps more so in our darkest hour. Let it reach you through your relatedness with another, and do not be afraid to be broken and opened, for in that cracking of what you thought you were, you shall begin to know what you are, which is heaven on earth. Okay, I will talk to you guys soon. Until then, take care, much love. Bye for now.